I can remember Pete Simone being a psychologist who was on our board, and he was instrumental in making sure that we brought in both intern and considered hiring somewhat a counselor.
And he was adamant that this is who we serve, this is who we serve well, and so let's make sure that we have the staff to do this. Julie Jones was amazing for us. She gave Scott and I more tools to be able to work with these families and to be able to work with these kids and kind of see outcomes for them.
Having that counselor on board, not to necessarily work with the individual students in a therapeutic type of way, but to help our teachers understand and create strategies for how to really reach this community and their individual needs.
So I started at Gateway 6 years ago at the Young Adult program. And then 5 years ago, Michelle transferred me over to on-campus Gateway, working with the 10th through 12th graders. I've continued that role for the past 5 years, this year taking on the counseling program coordinator position.
A lot of it is just being there in the moment and building these relationships with the kids.
I can remember working with U of H Clear Lake and others to bring in interns to help us make sure that we had people that were studying in that counseling area.
We aren't able to make a difference unless we have that relationship piece. So from there, it's making sure that we're meeting with every kid and that we're showing up for them and showing up for their parents.
A three-way contract. The school can commit to certain things, the student has to commit to certain things, but the parents have to commit to certain things to make everything successful and to make sure what we're teaching at school works at home and then is continued to be embedded even as they go into the workplace.
I mean, if we're not able to work with the kid and the parents and their outside professionals, all these pieces, then we're never going to make any difference in the kid's life. And my hope is that if we can do that and do it well, then I wouldn't have them as clients as adults like I was having. I was at the Denver County Jail doing a lot of work with inmates, and it's funny because I jumped into that so excited. So I'm finally going to be doing individual therapy and group therapy, and I'm going to make this huge difference. And I sit there with these people who are just so defeated. And every single time I met with an adult, it all came back to, well, this happened to me as a kid. And I sit there and I'm like, man, if I would have had you as a kid, what could we have done? Like, what are these differences we could have made? If you would have trusted a completely different person as a kid and had this person advocating for you. So I want to be with the kids. It's where I love working and seeing the piece of them changing and challenging their preconceived notions and growing and finding out who they are and how they want to show up and where they want to go after Gateway, and then hearing that on their graduation speech and knowing, oh my gosh, I had this kid sophomore year in my room crying every day, or I had to go chase this kid down the hall because he didn't want to run the mile, whatever it is, and then watching them get on that graduation stage and talk about their next steps and all the things that they've accomplished and been through. It's a very cool experience. I wouldn't give it up.